Maido! Hi there, Japan fans. Today's show, we're going to continue with part 2 about executive presence. Present master shimashou. This is the 5th year of the Presentation Japan Series podcast, and we are beaming around the world to you from sunny Minato-ku in Tokyo. And I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie Tokyo franchise owner, the president of Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaeigyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery. My new book, Stop Wasting Money on Training in Japanese, Trainingu de okane o muda ni suru no wa yamimashou, is now available on Amazon. Through this podcast, I want to help you become a better speaker who is clear, confident, persuasive, and highly influential with those around you. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn, who, unlike many other podcast hosts, have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on iTunes. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. Tuesdays, the Presentations Japan Series. Every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsujin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan Series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan Series. Every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show. And Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. This is episode number 312, and we are continuing with part 2 of how to have executive presence in Japan. In part 1, we explored the mental barriers around linguistic perfection, which are holding Japanese business people back and denying them the chance to have executive presence. Once we've cleared that hurdle, then we can start to work on the other key elements for achieving executive presence. Appearing confident is not a plus in Japan. Here, being unsure, timid, shy, unprepossessing, modest, bashful are all signs of good citizenship. By fitting in with the majority and avoiding standing out. Having executive presence is the exact opposite of this cultural preference, so it takes quite a lot of work to convince Japanese executives they have to stand out and be heard. The obvious differentiators are eye contact, voice amplification, gesture usage, and posture. Looking someone straight in the eye is a Western concept emphasizing credibility and trust. In Japan, it is rude. So everyone is taught to look at the forehead or the throat instead. When coaching these executives, I have to make the point that their role is different when presenting to other aspects of their work. They are not having a chat with their mates now. They're on stage presenting or in the meeting room commenting. 6 seconds of eye contact is about the right length to engage someone in the room without it becoming too intrusive. We have some proprietary secret techniques for helping with this eye contact fear, and we changed the dynamic for these executives and they realize they can do it. They could always do it, in fact, but mentally they were not ready to do it, and that is where we apply the magic. Engaging the audience, especially an international audience, makes a huge difference to the credibility of the Japanese executive. They come across as supremely confident and sure of what they are saying. Let's face it, we're all suckers for buying the confidence of others and, by extension, what they are saying. The voice has to back it up, though. A tiny little voice gets lost very quickly, and audience attention drifts away. Speaking with a loud voice is not polite in Japan, so we run into another cultural barrier. We use a lot of video in our coaching, and while the Japanese executive may feel they are screaming out their words under our coaching direction for them to go louder, when they see the replay, they realize It just looked extremely confident. Seeing is believing is definitely a necessity here to overcome the mindset that loud is bad. Amplifying the message really makes such a difference to be taken seriously and for people to dwell upon what you are saying. Again, it is adding that patina of confidence to the message and our own credibility standing behind the message. It sounds simple. When appropriate, speak louder. However, these executives are not even close to the loudness required, so they need a lot of support to help them through this barrier. We also have to keep pushing them to go bigger with their voice modulation, to have more vocal range, to project more power. Find out more. We come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public programs, but we also do custom-made in-house classes. Now, we do them in our super safe classroom, we do them live online, and we do them in Japanese, and we do them in English. On the 22nd of October, we'll be doing our Dale Carnegie course. It's our flagship program, very good program for working out how to deal with your stress. I'd say about 1 in 5 people, let's say 20%, 25% of people tell me that it really helped them to improve their productivity by lowering their stress levels. For others, it's going to be expanding their world by really expanding their comfort zone and giving them more confidence to challenge things and take on new things, volunteer for tasks, projects in the office, etc. For others, it becomes communication. They get lots and lots of communication practice in this course, and they become very confident and comfortable by the end of it because they're doing so much of it. Another one, of course, people skills. Absolutely critical. Trying to do everything by yourself these days is too complex. We need help from others, but how do we get them to help us? Why would they help us? Why would they care? So people skills, obviously, a big one. And leadership, learning how to lead people. It's related to communication, related to people skills, of course. But these tend to be the things that people get most out of that particular program. On the 2nd of November, we will be doing high impact presentations, which is a brilliant program, 2 days, 2 instructors, everything videoed, massive amounts of coaching. Every possible structure you will ever need for a presentation is included in this course. We deal with how to do the Q&A. We deal with how to do the hostile Q&A. We deal with how to design it, how to do the PowerPoint, how to end it. Every detail is covered, and lots and lots and lots of coaching in this program. Lots of practice, lots of coaching, genius program. On the 21st of November, we will be doing leadership training for managers. This is a really perfect course for Japanese who've been developed to become managers but actually don't know what being a leader is. They don't actually have a conception about that. We provide that context for them, explain what the difference is, and then we give them the tools to become a really, really powerful leader. And, we know that in Japan, vast majority of Japanese never get any leadership training. They may get some on-the-job training, teach them how to be a manager, but that's about where it ends. But today, we need leaders. We need people who can do more than just paperwork. They've got to deal with people. They've got to be a good communicator. They've got to be able to make things happen, change the environment so it's very positive, motivating, people inspired to do their best work and not quit the company and go somewhere else. All very, very important. Check out our website at www.dale-carnegie, carnegie.co.jp. Lots and lots of value for you there. Now, to do better in Japan, email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Get my best-selling books, Japan Sales Mastery, that's the Bible for selling in Japan, and Japan Business Mastery, and my new book, Japan Presentations Mastery. If you like learning by watching videos, there are over 1,000 there for you at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, which is the premier business show in Japan, comes out Mondays. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show, and Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders in Japan from SMEs all the way up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Every second Thursday, we release the Businesspeople Television Show. Don't forget, you can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Holding their hands behind their back is a favorite of Japanese executives when speaking, usually because they are not sure what to do with their hands. They feel this anchors them and provides stability when they speak. That may be true, but it negates a lot of the power available to us as speakers, especially when we can employ our gestures to really emphasize a point we want to make. Combining eye contact and voice modulation with our gestures is a dynamite combination. It creates so much power and credibility for the message. Hiding our hands behind our back or locking our hands together in front of our body are denying us access to this tremendous tool. Gestures have a very short use-by date, though. Holding the same gesture beyond around about 15 seconds just sees the power of that tool evaporate, and the residue is just an annoying distraction. We have to turn the gesture on and off. Gestures also have to be congruent with what we are saying. We can show something large by extending the width between our hands, or we can use one hand as a measure and show something tall or short. The words have to match up with what we are indicating, or it looks strange and is an unnecessary distraction from our message. Posture is another indicator of confidence. Slouching, leaning on something, shifting our weight continuously, wandering around the stage, walking too briskly to and fro, unengaging half of the audience are all competitors with what is coming out of our mouth. We want to appear professional, and that means standing straight and tall like a professional. It means commanding the whole room with our body language. There is a Japanese word, ki, which is describing our vital life force, and we want to employ that when speaking. We want to be projecting our energy into the audience and across the room. We want to fill up the entire space with our energy. Using correct eye contact, voice modulation, gestures, and posture together creates an impression of solidity and gravitas. This adds up to creating a sense of executive presence when we are speaking. For Japanese executives, the hardest parts for them are straying from the cultural confines of their upbringing to become a force in public. Naturally, we teach them how to secure all of the attributes needed to have executive presence, but the key is how to teach them the necessary mindset shift to bring it all together. Thank you for joining the Presentations Japan series. If you got value from today's show, spread the love around and share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Immediately apply what you have learned today, use it, and go out there and become a presentations legend. Remember, I'm your corporate coaching and training guy in your corner, committed to your success here in Nippon.